being 20 years old and losing a friend that was that close, I know that me personally, I can't speak for my other friends, but I didn't handle it well. I did not handle it with that much level of maturity, and I really took that, I think, as an excuse to dive deeper into my addiction. And not that I was so overwhelmed by being upset or anything, but just, look, I have this thing that people can feel sorry about, so maybe they'll lay off. And that's when opiates kind of entered the picture, and I started, using heavier drugs and benzodiazepines and all that, and pills really entered the picture at that time. But there was a point while I was working in nightclubs where my opiate addiction, because that was really ended up being my thing. I loved opiates, which made me tired and want to sleep and rest. With my job working in nightclubs, we're not mixing at all. And finally it just broke me, and I called my dad. In many ways, my dad was very codependent with me. So, how can we move him to a different school? When I got kicked out of the dorms, he was there, right? I mean, he was an attorney in his past life. He was right there to try to get me out of that trouble. Wonderful parenting, and very loving father who obviously loved his son. For a person with my personality, kind of would slide under me with a mattress, and I never hit the hard ground that I needed to hit to learn a lesson, right? I just couldn't learn that lesson. And I'm a dad. I have 3 kids. I'd probably do the same thing with all of the knowledge and history I have. I don't know if I'd be able to not do that. So again, two things can be true at once.
Man, dads, it just makes me think about myself as a dad. I have 3 daughters, and man, it's like God designed us to fix it, to make it better. How can we help, And so I'm not surprised at all.
Yeah,
it's so difficult to try and think that you might have known, I'm just thinking from a dad's perspective, like when the time to just not throw that mattress under you would have been, and like, what if you died? What if the worst happened and it was the moment where I decided I was going to have the hard love, and I mean, it's a scary thought from a father's perspective, on where do I draw the line? When do I not throw out the life raft?